Yeah, you mentioned that you were talking about a fight and where you found the sweet spot, and you just like when you were banging it, it just landed, or it was productive. I'm just wondering, like, how do you get to that spot more often?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, it was funny, and with that fight as well, what I'd call that fight like the sweet spot. I felt like I was in the flow state. It was, it was when, and even just with like I finished him in the second round, and it was kind of like when I wasn't thinking, like I wasn't sort of consciously thinking, but when I was flowing through the movements, the first shot I hit him with was that dropped him was a liver shot, a liver punch. And I remember just like something just popping into my head that said liver shot. And I just sort of, as soon as it popped in, I just hit it, and the opening was there and he dropped. And then when I finished him with a head kick, and and the same sort of thing happened. It just, something in my head just said head kick, and I just knew that the opening would be there to land and finish it. But getting into that spot more regularly, I'm not sure, because my camp for that one was weird. I was in quarantine for 2 weeks, and then I only had two or 3 weeks of training, and then in like my second sparring session I broke my toe, so I stopped sparring, and then my toe was a problem. So it was a weird camp. But so I think, so probably going into the fight, I just sort of let go of any expectations. I just thought, okay, well, camp's been a bit rubbish. I've got this foot injury, so I can't kick with my left as much. So I'm just going to go in there, just let go and see what happens. So I think probably trying to get into that spot more. I've got to try, or for anyone, it would be more about letting go rather than trying to hold on to an expectation of how, because when you hold on to the expectation of how a fight's going to go, when it doesn't go that way, that's when you start panicking. But if you've got no expectations, you can just flow with it and let whatever you've been working on or whatever's inside you come out and perform. So yeah, I'd say letting go of expectations would be how to get back into that spot more.